Several years ago, NCADA started the Hometown Heroes Project with the objective of becoming a positive voice for North Carolina's first responders, where participating dealerships across the state could recognize first responders for their courage and commitment to protecting North Carolina's local towns and communities. This is Davenport Auto Parts' third Hometown Heroes event. In December, North Carolina dealers and industry professionals from across the state gather in Greensboro for an annual executive forum where dealers are updated on upcoming industry topics. This event includes a Hometown Hero Luncheon where a select group of first responders from across the state will be honored and recognized on a state level for their achievements. To date, North Carolina dealers have recognized more than 300 first responders at the forum, which has featured special guests such as the governor. We're here today because we wanted to recognize and honor you, our first responders and hometown heroes, for what you do for us and for our community each and every day. We know that much of what you do goes unrecognized at times and may seem like your services are taken for granted. So we thought it was appropriate that we let you all know how much we appreciate it. While we honor and give thanks to all of our first responders today, you are here because you were chosen for special recognition by your peers and your commanding officers for exemplary service, for going above and beyond the call of duty. So I think all of you deserve a huge round of applause. Now I'd like to introduce our city manager, Mr. Keith Rogers, Jr., to say a few words and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Graham, for explaining the background on this great event. This is my first time at this event for the city of Rocky Mount, so just like we were talking earlier, it's always great when you can get in a room and celebrate the work that we do, particularly for our first responders and our public safety officials. And I'm glad that there are representatives from across this region in the room today, because it really takes a regional effort and it really takes a community to make sure that we are safe and that we're meeting the needs of the residents. And of course, as city manager for Rocky Mount, everyone already knows my bias for our police and our fire department. But again, we value the relationship between our partners within this region. And this is such a great event that I feel honored to be in this room with everyone this morning. So I've learned very quickly that if you do any speaking before a meal is served, you should absolutely be brief. So with no further ado, I will lead us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, I'd like to call Spencer Carney with Carney & Co. She's going to bless this food, and then we're going to start serving ourselves and giving away awards in just a little bit. Spencer.
All right, if you'll all bow your heads. Dear God, thank you so much for bringing all these wonderful people here today, and I hope you bless them and keep them all safe and let them know that we appreciate them for all that they've done for us. Please watch over every one of them, and let us have a great meal today and a wonderful event, and thank you for the opportunity to honor our hometown heroes. Bless America.
First, I'd like to call Sheriff Cleveland Atkinson, Jr. with Edgecombe County Sheriff's Department. He says he's ready at all times.
Hey, sir, you called me up, but I'm ready. All right. Thank you. Good evening. First of all, let me thank all the recipients, man. You guys are flat out awesome. I think what you guys do on a daily basis, citizens really don't understand how we put our lives on the line. So I just want to thank all of you guys of the many different uniforms, okay? Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah. My first recipient of the day is Xavier Ruffin. I don't know if they can put that on the screen. Xavier Ruffin. Let me tell you, Xavier, he's our ex-man at the Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office. I want to be brief because so many recipients. He's our ex-man at the Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office. On May the 31st, we had a deputy that had a head-on collision, so I'm sitting at my desk, and we hear her scream across the radio. We couldn't find her. We didn't know where she was. And make a long story short, we located her on Pine Top Harbor Highway near the Edgecombe Community College. A driver had turned in front of her, so she's pinned in the vehicle, and she yells and screams and says her vehicle's on fire. So the first one to respond is Xavier Ruffin. He shows up and is smoking. She's pinned in, broken foot. She's on her way back to recovery now. He shows up and he gets out of the car. But there's a funny story to it, and he's such a big loving guy, a caring heart. He avoided me, and all his lieutenants and captains came to him and said, "Sheriff, he's avoiding you." And I said, "Why?" When he arrived, he ripped my car door off the patrol car to get out. But you know what? That's okay. He literally ripped the car door off. He lifts every day. He rips the car door off, and he gets her to safety. I'm glad he's a part of our team. He's a loving, big, caring guy. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Xavier Ruffin. They don't want to say that. That's it, I think so. Appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate you, big guy. You want to say something? Go ahead, sit
Even
down.
though I really ain't no talker, so.
You good. Good. I shake the hand every day. Our next recipient is Detective Christopher Crispin. He's a real quiet guy, but on June the 8th, we were working, assisting the Highway Patrol with a double fatality near Bethel. And at the same time, we had a child call come in. A child and mom was drowning near Leggett. But they didn't know where they were. A pond off the roadway, and we had no idea how to find them. Detective Crispin took off from the Edgecombe Sheriff's Office by himself because the rest of us, the majority of us, were helping the Highway Patrol. And he located them. He assisted this mom. The child was drowning. The mom jumped in, trying to get her son out the pond. Crispin jumps in and retrieves the mom, and he gave CPR for 15 to 20 minutes. And any of you guys know in here that ever given CPR, that's a long time until we can get to them. And with the assistance of an EMS worker, they worked on her for 30 minutes before we can get her some help. He's flat out outstanding. The running joke is we made him come to the front, and he's really, really nervous about this thing. But some people on our team are just flat out deserving, and they're real hometown heroes. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Christopher Crispin.
All right, thank you, Sheriff. Next, we have Nash County EMS.
Good afternoon. What an honor to be able to come and recognize. I would love to say I can recognize everybody that works for us because they need to be recognized. Everybody in the room needs to be recognized. As the sheriff said, we put our lives on the line every day, and thank you to everyone here. Thank you for hosting us and having us. Our two recipients, man, I asked the staff was kind of polled, and their supervisor were polled, and we got two. First is Brooke Barnes. Just a little about Brooke. Brooke has lived in Nash County her entire life. As early as high school, she started showing, hey, I want to get into something, nursing or something. I want to help people. She had that loving, caring heart. She completed an EMT class at Nash Community College in 2019. She joined the Coopers Fire Department because she wanted to be, okay, I got my EMT, I want to do something with it. And I want to give back to the community. That's Brooke. She's wanting to give back, and she cares so much. She came to work with Nash EMS to join our team in 2019, in summer 2019. Since then, she has received, we call it the Nash EMS Lifesaver Award. She received it twice, and what this award is when you're part of a team that successfully resuscitates somebody that is in cardiac arrest, and they walk out of the hospital where the patient is, we recognize our team for that, and she's received 2 of them awards. Brooke has gone on to continue her education. She's sitting now at the advanced EMT class, advanced EMT level, and she's talking about advanced as being a paramedic. And one of the most admirable things about her is that she has such a caring heart that not only does she love working on the ambulance, taking care of the people that we deal with, but she carries that even further. She's an instructor for community college, and she helps out there, and that says volumes about Brooke. So Brooke, I do have to say, I did ask your peers, what would you say about Brooke? And it was awesome. You really get measured when you ask your peers, don't you, sometimes? Hardworking, compassionate, a team mindset, loyal, honest, a servant's heart, community focused, a mentor, and a role model. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome Brooke Barnes. Our next recipient, I love this guy. If you ever want to have a good conversation, you catch this guy, just ask him any kind of question about anything, and you're good for 30 minutes. He's compassionate. Tevin Coppage is his name. A little about Tevin. Very early in his life, he had a desire to help people. You hear him talk about it for hours. 2017, Tevin got his basic EMT. He joined our team 2018 as a basic EMT. He went on to further his education and got his paramedic in 2019. He has served in several different roles for us. He was promoted in 2021 to station officer. In 2023, recently, he was promoted to a field training officer. But some of the interesting stuff about Tevin is that this guy is always doing research. He's constantly reading. He's constantly looking at new best practices. And he'll call me out on stuff, and I like that. You need people on your team like that, right? And, he has taken so many classes on his own time that, hey, I want to go to this class. I'm going to go to this class, this other class. He's never settled. He does not want to get stagnant. And the last thing I really don't want to mention, he fills in for us now as a district chief. We see the potential in Tevin. Tevin is a leader. He's a natural leader. And he's got places to go, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds for him. Now, what Tevin's peers had to say about him. Everybody I talked to said he loved to talk. But great guy. He'll come in the office, he'll lean up against the thing. I got a question for you. Let me just stop for about 30 minutes. And but great conversation. He's compassionate. He's a teacher. Many times I heard that mentor, leader, community focus. He has a desire to see, he has a gift to see something in somebody that they maybe don't see in themselves, and he'll push them, you know, to be all that they could be. Hard worker, dependable, loyal. Ladies and gentlemen, help me, Tevin Coppage, please. Congratulations.
All right, thank you. Now, next we have Keith Stone, Sheriff Keith Stone, and the Nash County Sheriff's Department.
Thank y'all. I want to take this opportunity to thank each one of you for noticing our heroes. But what we don't notice is look at the number of heroes today that are out there on those roads, taking care of everything that's going on. Look across the world, look at Israel right now, and look at the chaos there. It's not going to be a military. It's the local EMS and line officers and emergency personnel that are in this chaos. That could easily happen here again, and we need to recognize that our EMS people, our law enforcement people, they're the heroes every day, whether they're doing a heroic action or just doing their job. At this time, I would like to call Liam, Hayden, and the people love the Lord for Jonathan Sykes. Jonathan Sykes is in command school right now for Rayton School of State. That's heroic enough for the government to manage these two kids along the line. Better himself and serve people in that county. The reason that he is the recipient for this year's award from the Nash County Sheriff's Office, he's on the ATF group that every day he is out dealing with violence within our communities, making a difference. I asked him one day last year, what's that answer to these safe communities? And he quickly said, give us more undercover money to get more of these illegal guns off the streets. A man that has that time of diligence to go out and do the work and has no other excuses, takes responsibility to himself to do it, is a hero in my mind. So, with the dad out at school, Hayden has a few words. I want to present this award to Hayden. And if Liam, if you will stand there with me. I think if you get to it. All right, Hayden, if you will. You got a few words? Okay.
I'm proud of my dad, and thank you everyone for coming here.
Come here, don't cry. Thank you.
Next, Edgecombe County EMS.
Hello, my name's Chad Eason. It's going to be tough to follow kids behind a kid saying that, but we'll try and make this happen. My name's Chad Eason. I'm with Edgecombe County EMS. We've been in service for probably about 2.5 years. We started a county system. So these employees that I'm nominating today, they have been with the system every 2.5 years. They have progressed this agency. This is a little dedication for them to let them know what they have done in our agency. We have progressed a tremendous amount of ways in this 2.5 years. We started a system, just to give you a little update, we started a system basically from ground up. And so they've been a diligent part in that. They also have went into the ranks. So initially they were EMTs, and now they have progressed to paramedics, and now they were FTOs. Both of these individuals were FTOs, and now they're lieutenants in organizations. So they have grew tremendously, and I respect that, and I honor that, and that's why we're here today, to honor them. My first recipient is Michaela McCray. Come on up. Like I said, she's been with us for 2.5 years. She is an acting lieutenant at this time. She has done numerous things in our agency. She's in charge of education at this time, and further, she will be having other roles and responsibilities. She takes everything that we've handed her in the past. She's took it head on, and she's been astounding at it. She's never backed down. She takes on probably more responsibilities than she should. But we'll look at that into the future. Thank you, Michaela.
Thank you.
Second nominee is Tim Boyd. Pretty much everything I just said about Michaela and this whole thing, he's been here with us for 2.5 years. He's also been a paramedic. He rose to FTO, and now he's a lieutenant in our organization. He has done some of the same things, very hard workers. Both of these individuals, they come to work, they punctuality, everything. Anything that you want a good employee, what you want from a good employee, these two individuals are those employees. So thank you for having us, Davenport, and thank you for... You want to say anything to me?
Rocky Mount Police Department. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. And also thank you, a big thank you goes out to, Davenport Auto Park. You guys have been doing this your 3rd year, recognizing first responders across our 2 counties and beyond. So thank you for doing that. These professions, we often don't get thank yous and we don't get recognized. So you doing this for us mean a lot, not only to the department heads in this room, but also to all the nominees in this room and their families. I just got a couple of words. That phrase, to protect and serve, I wondered, where did that come from? And for those who may not know, it was coined by the Los Angeles Police Department back in the 1950s. But I want to use those few words as just a kind of phrase or as a context for my comments here. To protect and serve. These few words encapsulate the profound commitment driving countless first responders to take up their badge, regardless of the uniform color, whether it's blue, brown, gray, or white. Our core motive remains unwavering, assisting others and making a tangible impact to those we serve. Spanning almost 3 decades, my 28 years in this field has revealed a universal bond among us, an undenying dedication to serve, fueled by courage. Whether braving a blazing fire, racing against time to deliver crucial medical aid where seconds matter, or handling what seems to be a routine call that could escalate into a life-threatening situation, We wear our badges as symbols of pride and valor. Day in and day out, our resolve to effect change in our communities never wavers. The actions of the 2 officers from the Rocky Mount Police Department exemplifies these sentiments. Their courage and commitment resonate deeply with the essence of courage and service. I'm honored to serve alongside Sergeant Cameron Joyner, if you would come up, sir, and Corporal Vicky Hussey, if you would come up, ma'am. They represent everything we stand for. They are deserving of this nomination and to be selected as the hometown hero representing the Rocky Mount Police Department. Just to give you, I know the bios was going across the screens, but I would be remiss if I don't say a little bit about both of them. And I'm gonna start with Corporal Vicky Hussey. She's currently a native of the area. She's a corporal within our department. She has 2 boys and a daughter. She is a graduate of the 14th Rocky Mount Police Academy. She has served in multiple roles as police officer, school resource officer, special operations narcotics detective, and now currently assigned to our criminal investigations major crime case unit. She enjoys family, cycling. I know she cycles a lot with our sheriff, but she loves that with a passion, and good company with those who she cycles with, and she loves to travel. That is Corporal Hussey. Sergeant Cameron Joyner, he's a native of the area. He's also a graduate of the 14th Rocky Mount Police Academy. He is joined today with his lovely wife, Stephanie. He has 3 children, and he has served in many ranks of the department: officer, corporal, and now sergeant. He served in many roles, but he currently serves as our unit sergeant for homicide within the Criminal Investigations Division. He loves training, but he wanted me to make sure we recognize he is joined today with his wife, parents, co-workers, friend, and also Sir William Denton. That's for you, sir. I would be remiss if I didn't also say that Corporal Hussey is also joined by her family, her son, her father, and her mother. At this time, I would like to just share a little bit of context why their peers chose these 2 individuals as our nominees for the Rocky Mount Police Department. And to do that, I want to let their division commander, Captain Seabreeze, to read those summary for me, please.
So I'll be brief on it, Chief. Thank you so much. Just to give you an idea, he talked about routine calls for service that officers respond to. This was a great example of routine calls for service that turned out not routine. So on February 9th of this year, the Rocky Mount Police Department received alerts of a stolen motor vehicle and spotted the motor vehicle several times throughout the city, attempted to give chase to it a few times, but was not able in a safe place to really stop the vehicle. Later on, we located the vehicle, and as we stopped the vehicle, the driver of that vehicle at that time gave us information that the driver that attempted to evade police was at a location donating blood. So he gave the officers that location, and these 2 officers here responded to that location. Now, we had several of our officers attempting to stop this car and locate it and get the drivers off the street. So these, Sergeant Joyner, Corporal Hussey, they responded to our donation center, blood donation center in Oakwood Shopping Center here, and they encountered the suspect, who was the driver. The driver at that point had been kind of agitated. The people inside the blood bank did not want to deal with him. He had caused some problems there, so he was approached by these officers who asked him to step outside. That's where things kind of turned. They went on the outside, and I hate to relive this again, but I think both of them have done a really good job coming back from this event. But as they went outside, they asked the subject to turn around and put his hands behind his back. Unbeknownst to either of these officers, that subject was armed, and he had also told, they didn't know this, he had also told the other occupant of the vehicle that he was not going to go without a fight. So he produces a firearm, and officers were giving chase to him. They were able to overcome him and try to take him down. He produces a firearm, and he was able to produce his firearm and discharge his weapon without officers being aware. He discharged his weapon, and his intent was malicious and violent, and with the intent of not going to jail and to kill whomever he encountered. That first encounter was with Sergeant Joyner. So he discharged his firearm at Sergeant Joyner and struck him at his duty weapon. What he's trained to respond to deadly force with is his duty weapon. That weapon, and I want to pause here to make sure we all understand what he felt at that very moment. The weapon that he was trained to respond to deadly weapon with was disabled. He had received a round at his holster that disabled his weapon, causing him unable to respond the way he had trained. Now, he is well trained, so he kept his calm. He was brave, and by the grace of God and sending Corporal Hussey, she was right there to respond. She responded, produced her firearm, discharged the weapon, stopped the threat. Ultimately, my opinion, saved this young man's life. They both were able to apprehend the suspect, get him off the street. They did not know who they were dealing with. This particular gentleman, he's got a rap sheet. I stopped the printer on the way here. He's got a long list of assaults. He's got a long list of weapons. He's got a long list of narcotic violations and probation violations. These are the type of people that officers are dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and we often call them routine calls. With that being said, these are our nominees, Sergeant Joyner and Corporal Hussey.
All right, next we have North Carolina Highway Patrol. I need some help getting out of a ticket.
That's you. Okay. All right. You did. Good evening, everyone. Well, afternoon. That's the evening. Where am I at? All right. So I'm Sergeant Roy with the North Carolina State Highway Patrol, Troop C, District 1. And on behalf of the North Carolina State Highway Patrol, Troop C, District 1, it is an honor to recognize and briefly describe the exceptional bravery and unwavering dedication of two remarkable individuals, Trooper Strickland and Trooper Nicholson, who have rightfully earned the title of Hometown Heroes. All right, so starting off with Trooper Strickland, on March 2023, he responded to a collision in Edgecombe County at Webb's Chapel Baptist Church, where a vehicle traveled off the roadway and collided with the church, and both the vehicle and the church caught on fire. While other first responders at the scene were dealing with the structure fire, Trooper Strickland noticed the driver of the vehicle was still in the burning vehicle and immersed in smoke from the fire. In a moment of sheer heroism, Trooper Strickland jumped into a fire truck, drove it up to the building where the vehicle entered the building, hooked the burning vehicle to the fire truck, and pulled the vehicle away from the burning building, utilizing the fire truck. Once Trooper Strickland reached a safe distance from the building, he exited the fire truck and distracted the driver, who was clearly gasping for air from the burning car, and the driver was able to regain normal breathing and survive this incident. Trooper Strickland displayed extraordinary courage and selflessness during this occurrence, and his actions serve as a beacon of hope and testament to the bravery that resides within our community. I present to you Trooper Strickland.
All right. Trooper Nicholson, on the other hand, has demonstrated an outstanding commitment to ensuring our roads are safe. Through relentless determination, he leads the district in DWIRS with a total of 64 as of August this year, making our streets more secure for everyone. Now, to put this in perspective, according to NHTSA, which is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, each day about 28 people die in America in collisions involving an impaired driver, and 1/3 of all fatal collisions in America involve an impaired driver. Keeping these stats in mind, there is no doubt that Trooper Nicholson has saved numerous lives in Edgecombe and Nash counties through his efforts. I present to you Trooper Nicholson. All right, so in closing, on behalf of the North Carolina State Highway Patrol, Troop C, and Troop C District 1, we would like to thank Davenport Auto Park for inviting us to this luncheon and allowing us to recognize these two heroes. Additionally, we extend our deepest gratitude to Trooper Strickland, Trooper Nicholson, and all the first responders recognized here today for their exceptional service and for embodying the true spirit of heroism. Their actions inspire us all to stand tall in the face of adversity and to make our community a better, safer place for everyone. Thank you.
All right, next we have Rocky Mount Fire Department.
Good afternoon. Just like everybody mentioned earlier, our recipients were chosen by their peers, and we want to recognize Fire Engineer Dante Miss Austin, Fire Captain Travis Barnes, and Fire Captain, Administrative Captain Kimberly Whittick. Dante Miss Austin is the true definition of what a Rocky Mount firefighter is supposed to be. He works a 24-hour.25 shift, and he's an outstanding role model for fellow employees. He's always cleaning the truck, he's always cleaning the station, and he's always trying to help others as well as far as doing some training. On his days off, he actually works at another fire department and EMS as well. He definitely has a history in public safety. We call him Mr. Overtime because whenever he decides he wants to make some additional funding for himself, he always works a bunch of overtime. So again, please join me in congratulating Fire Engineer Dante Miss Austin. Next, we will recognize Fire Captain Travis Barnes. Captain Barnes used to serve the role as a safety and training officer. He currently serves the role as headquarters fire captain on Engine 1. Also, Captain Barnes, he also teaches in the fire cadet program at National Community College. He also is a volunteer assistant chief at Sims Fire Department in Wilson County. Captain Barnes has served the city of Rocky Mount for 18 years. He has a wife and 2 boys. He enjoys skiing, enjoys fishing, and spending time with his family. Please join me in recognizing Fire Captain Travis Barnes. Next, we're going to recognize Captain Kimberly Whitty. And today, we have her family here, the Whitaker family, as well as the Whittick family here to accept the award on her behalf. Captain Whitty was began her fire service career in 2000. She served with the City of Rocky Mount for 23 years. She held a position of administrative fire captain, and she was considered to be, she was the first life safety educator for the City of Rocky Mount. She served 17 years in that role, and she was also our life safety instructor for Child Passenger Safety Seat. She was recognized in 2002 as Instructor of the Year for CPS. In 2017, she was promoted to the position of Administrative Captain, and she was also became the first female to have the rank of Administrative Fire Chief. She was an Administrative Fire Chief for Planning and Administration. She was also the Fire Department's Accreditation Manager. She was the department's first public information officer as well. Captain Whitty also was instrumental in writing grants for the fire department. She was able to get us awarded over $650,000 for grant funding for the City of Rocky Mount Fire Department. She is definitely a true hometown hero, and we're thankful for everything that she's done. Unfortunately, we lost Captain Whitty to breast cancer, and she will definitely be remembered. On her behalf, we will recognize her husband, Mike Whitty.
On behalf of our family, I'd like to thank the Rocky Mount Fire Department, Chief Moore, Mike Root, Davenport Auto Park, and the Hometown Heroes Program for honoring Kim's memory and her service today with this award. Kim was certainly our hero, and she deeply loved the Rocky Mount Fire Department and serving this community. I'd also like to congratulate all of today's recipients of this prestigious award and to thank them and all first responders and their support staff for their service.
And I especially want to thank Davenport Auto for recognizing me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Last, we have Tarboro Police Department.
Hello, everyone. I'm Captain Angela Richardson. I'm with the Tarboro Police Department. I will be speaking on behalf of Chief Mann. So our first nominee is Peyton Owens. Peyton Owens is not able to be here today. He is out on maternity leave. Sergeant Owens has risen through the ranks since becoming a patrolman. He supervises his own squad and has insight on the daily workings of the police department. Not only is he a supervisor, he is also a member of the Tarboro Police Department's K-9 unit. He has received numerous certifications with his K-9 partner, Spartan, which has proven time and time again to be a dependable asset to the Tarboro Police Department. Sergeant Owens was also the first officer of the Tarboro Police Department to obtain his unarmed aerial vehicle, or UAV, license to operate a drone, which contributes to the immediate expansion of resources that are readily available to the department. We are glad to have him as part of our team. So at this time, Detective Corporal Lewis will accept his award on his behalf. Our second nominee comes from the investigative department, which is Detective Corporal Bryant. Detective Corporal Bryant is a huge asset to our department and is so deserving of being nominated as a hometown hero. Detective Corporal Bryant is an effective communicator and has excellent written and verbal skills. He is highly organized and can manage a high workload with ease. Further, he is an adept problem solver and has a track record of finding innovative solutions to complex problems and cases. Most recently, he successfully obtained a criminal indictment charging an out-of-state resident with fraudulently obtaining nearly $100,000 in wire transfers from a local business. The suspect was arrested and flown to Tarboro from Missouri. Further, he has an excellent solve rate when it comes to fraud and suspicious investigations. From the massive fraud cases that have erupted on our front pages this century, the citizens of small-town Tarboro are elated to have Detective Corporal Bryant on their side. He is one of our many heroes in the town. At this time, we'll present Corporal Bates. On behalf of Chief Mann, I would like to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to Hometown Heroes for having Tarboro as part of this program.
All right, let's give everybody a round of applause. Those are some good stories. Recognize those who helped put this all together, our ladies at Carney & Co. Thank you all for attending and again for your service to our community. Before you leave, we'd like to get photos of each department and their recipients.